Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So sorry it's so late in today before getting a video up. There was so much going on today that I wanted to just specifically dedicate the time to tuning into that TFL space and really dissecting all of the information that they were giving out. I did get an opportunity to go up and speak and I raised some really critical points because although everybody's really worrying about this huge list of wallets and how much is in each wallet, I think we already know how much is in all of those wallets. If anybody wants to know, it's going to be in this video and it's going to be pretty straightforward for you all to understand. So what I'm going to do here first is play you the clip from the space where I go up and I ask these questions so you can hear the context of this video and why I'm doing this video now on a Friday. So let's listen to what Chris answers to my questions. So yeah, I'm not gonna kick anyone in the balls or anything like that. Everything is what it is at this point, but I think it's really important that you guys understand the way that you leave this space. It's so important. So I've got two questions, and one of them is to do with LFG. Is LFG, you've stated that you don't have control over it. Do Kwon has control over it, but it's a confusing because I've heard different things that you've mentioned. So is LFG going to be included in that wallet list? And with that wallet list, are you able to provide the memos? Because the list has CX wallets in it, and I think that's what the redacted information is.
So let me be very specific on LFG. For some of the wallets, TFL controls the keys on behalf of LFG, but we can't make any decisions because none of us are on the board. Doe controls LFG. The whole settlement with the SEC regarding LFG was a Doe settlement that we had nothing to do with. Now, if we're told by whoever is legally in charge of it to transfer tokens or something, we would do that, right? Like if there's a legal process that tells us to do something with it, to the extent that we're capable of doing it, we would comply with that legal process. So that is what it is. But like we can't just make a decision to go do something with LFG assets, and we've never been able to, right? The only thing, nothing's ever been done with those assets since the defense of the peg. They've just been sitting there until recently. We moved them to Fireblocks because it just is a way safer way to custody these things.
Okay, so as you've heard, Chris, TFL specifically has zero control over the LFG assets, which is what you are seeing in front of us. And Chris has also mentioned that these assets have been moved to the Fireblocks chain moving forward. So what we've had acknowledgement of here is the simple fact that Do Kwon is one of the board members of LFG, and he's probably in total control of it. Do Kwon's not been heard from some time. We know he's under house arrest in Montenegro, and we also know that I think the Prime Minister of Montenegro also got wrecked by the lunar crash. So that's really ironic for DK moving forward. So I don't think we are going to get any action from TFL. So although that they've mentioned in the space that if they've got access to any of these wallets and they can legally burn those assets, they will go and do that. But when it comes to LFG, they cannot do a thing. They can't lift a finger unless they are ordered to lift a finger. Now, what you're probably thinking is, holy moly, Jay, have they moved all of these assets off chain already? Have they already gone? So what I'm going to say to everybody here is ignore the AVAX, ignore the BNB, ignore the BTC, and ignore that USDC, even though that there isn't any in there. But ignore those anyway. All we are interested in currently as a blockchain in this exact moment is the Luna and that USTC. And that's it. This other stuff, wherever it goes, ultimately we have zero control over this. DK does, but we do have 100% control over assets that are still stored on Columbus 5, being the Terra Classic chain. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got 1.85 billion in UST, and then we've got 222 million in Luna Classic. So now let me get this next section up, which is LFG announcing which wallets have been migrated. So as we can see, two wallets got migrated, which was the Avalanche wallet and the BSC wallet, and they were sent to this chain for both of those wallets. So they're now combined, held under this address on the Fireblocks chain. So now I want to take you over to my own custom document of a document that has been now confirmed by TFL to be an official document that is missing redacted information. And what I believe is the redacted information pertains to the remainder of the wallets down here, and we'll be going through those in this video. But first, let's focus on these 4 wallets here. So these 4 wallets are the ones that are part of the LFG ecosystem, and as you can see here, I've got the USTC amount on the left and the LUNC amount on the right hand side. So we can see that the majority of these wallets really don't have anything. This one here has just under 10 million USTC coins, so we would like to see those blacklisted 100%. But this is the more important wallet, and this is how we know, and I'll show you proof shortly, that these assets are still on chain. We've got 1.85 billion here of USTC and then 222 million LUNC here. So this is definitely the wallet that pertains to the information given on the LFG reserves, which are these here. So as you can see, once again, 1.85 billion and then 222 million there. So now let's move over to these wallets. So what I've done is I've got each one of these wallets up, and as you can see here, I've got the first wallet up, I've got the second wallet up, and this is the wallet we're very interested in. The third wallet, the fourth wallet with the 9 million, just under 10 million in, and then the fifth wallet having only 7 USTC in. So now let's flick back to this main wallet in question. So as you can see, this is on Terra Finder. I've got it flicked to the classic side of the chain because you can flick between classic and the mainnet. So as you can see, those funds are accessible to us through a governance proposal. So there's really 2 wallets we're interested in here. And it's going to be this wallet ending in X3NW being the main bulk of our issue. And then this one here as well ending in ZT3Z having around 10 million USTC in. So I think we've got all of the information that we need to become actionable and not trip over, run fast and break things, if that makes sense. So now we know that is exactly what those 5 wallets are. We can deal with those as a blockchain, and we should get a proposal up to blacklist those wallets because, as Chris said, we should do something about it. It's our responsibility as a blockchain to do something about this. We're a decentralized ecosystem and the decision falls down to consensus. So now what I want to do is speak about the remainder of these wallets and why they are so important but need to come at a later date. Because significantly, there's a lot more in the LFG system than there is in these wallets specifically. Now, these wallets down here are not part of LFG. Okay, so this is going to be a long list. This is going to take a lot more time. Like Chris said in his space, it's going to take around 3 months to probably go through these wallets, burn them if they've got the keys, burn the coins as they've mentioned if they've got the keys to those wallets. If not, hopefully they mark each wallet they couldn't access and we can go through and strategically blacklist each and every one of them. So you would say to me, Jay, how much is in these wallets combined? And I would say to you, well, we've already covered this on the channel. We've just not connected both of them together yet. And I would say there's around just under 1 billion LUNC and then just under 1 billion USTC floating around in that list of wallets. And I really do think that's what this list here pertains to, because we can completely rule out, right, that any of this is to do with LFG, because we've got confirmation, we've shown that in this video. So what I think is we've got really good evidence here that points us in the right direction to say we should at least go ahead and blacklist those 4 wallets before someone in the courts who may be part of that board committee now, because obviously they're going through the whole court procedures, and they decide to themselves, oh, okay, these could actually be burnt or they could be blacklisted. They're in a decentralized ecosystem. Somebody might pick up on this and we should get at this and we should become actionable sooner rather than later, because this has to go through the Commonwealth. Then it's got to go through the proposal stage. And then you're also going to need validators to be able to go somewhere and do what I've done, do their own research, tick all the boxes, cross the T's, dot the I's, and come to the same conclusion that I have, that all of this information and evidence points us in the right direction. So I really do hope you got some good information from this. I wanted to get this out on a Friday. TFL didn't record the space. I'm currently uploading a space, so that should be available for you guys very shortly. If not, it may have got uploaded before this video. This video may come an hour later than that, because what I'm trying to do currently is cater to as many time zones as possible. So some people might have realized that I don't do a morning video for those of you who are in the Europe, UK time zones. Instead, they're getting a little bit later in the day. And this is because of the American times and the user bases and stuff like that. I think it's really good. All of this and this whole space was everything we needed in order to move forward. And I think we got so many answers during that space that we can now we can process that information, and we can make knowledgeable decisions. And instead of just going ahead, like I was saying in mine and Strace video, just going ahead, right, and just blacklisting all of these wallets that are possible here, all of the native ones that we can get at, which I've highlighted in green in this list. And what I'm going to be doing over the course of the weekend is actually just going through these one by one, and I'll log them. I do have another list. I just didn't want to add it into this. I have logged about 20% of these wallets, and I've already come to the same conclusion I have in this video. So I definitely will vote yes to blacklist these wallets, because at the end of the day, right, it's a reversible action. If anything happens or there's ripples in the water from this and the SEC suddenly think to themselves, do you know what, Luna Classics is security, we can reverse things and we can assess the situation. This leaves us with a decent amount of choices, even if, right, for example, and the reason why I'm going down this route is because we've got the answer we needed. TFL are not going to be able to burn these coins unless someone on that committee commands them to do so. They will perform the order as commanded, and that's simply not happening. DK is completely lost to the world, and the Luna community are hanging on the thread that DK is going to come back and everything's going to change and it's going to save everybody. And when I hear that, what I think to myself is, you haven't kept up to date with the court documents, and you didn't even read the judgment at the end to see that it specifically states that the TFL team, Chris Armani, DK, are not allowed to be involved in crypto. They're not allowed to proxy people into it. They're not allowed to do anything. So these are really good factors for the LUNC community, right? Because if they're hanging on a thread like that, it shows you how desperate they are and how little guidance they have. And it's not to try and throw anyone under the bus or any chains under the bus, but it's just to simply say, we've been in this position for 2 years and suddenly the tables have turned, and it's blissful. It's beautiful. And once again, it's very ironic, like the case with the Montenegro Prime Minister being invested in Luna. So if I haven't earned your subscription by now, I hope I've earned your subscription. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's really going to help the channel. And other than that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.